Welcome once again to another episode of the Random Access Podcast, brought to you by ripodcast.net. This is episode 798, recorded live on June 29th, 2024. And here are your hosts. The man who is retired, Dave Play.
I spent the whole day with a 4-year-old.
And the man who says, welcome to my life, Andy Lohai.
Yes, but you chose that life.
Here, do you want a 7-year-old on that as well?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I get a text this morning at 7:45. I'm not awake at 7:45. I was sleeping a blissful weekend sleep because I sleep in on the weekend. And the text is, hey, I'm taking your goddaughter and her sister to see Inside Out 2. Do you want to join us and possibly spend more time with your goddaughter after the movie? And I'm like, I'll go see the movie, sure. So rather than fall back asleep as I normally would, because it is not yet like 10:30 or 11 o'clock, I get up and I go to the movie. Now, Andy, what time did you get to bed last night?
Let me tell you, because my app tracks that. 12:46.
Okay. So, about this, I mean, I was in bed at like 2. So I'm used to sleeping in a little bit on the weekend, and I did not get that. And I also didn't get coffee because I woke up at 9 for a 9:45 movie. So I kind of had to move. I go to the movie, spend time. Lovely, lovely movie. Inside Out 2, fantastic movie. Highly recommended. And then as we left the theater, I made the decision, like, yeah, my goddaughter can come over. We'll spend some time with her. We'll like play with blocks or watch TV or, we'll do something. And so she comes over, and 5-ish hours later, I message the parents and I'm like, hey, you guys want to come over and I'll put some stuff on the grill? Because I'm an idiot. And I miss them. I don't get to see them very often.
Yeah.
They have 3 kids. There's not a lot of time to do things when they have 3 kids. Mm-hmm. So they're like, yeah, that sounds fun. What time should we be there? I'm like, I'm going to go grab stuff from the grocery store. Come in like a half an hour. I go to the grocery store. It is a 20-minute line for the checkout at the grocery store. There is 1 open lane plus the automated lanes, but I had more stuff than I felt comfortable doing in an automated lane. So I was in line for 20 minutes.
I can slightly up you on that one because book club was tonight.
Yep.
And so we did Fiesta Burrito.
Yep.
I asked Isaac, I'm like, well, Isaac, what do you want? And he, was sitting there going like, well, I can either get you some Little Caesars or some Domino's. And he was like, Little Caesars. And I'm like, well, he's not actually going to, he just wants crazy bread, right?
Okay.
So I put an order in at, hold on, let me give you the times on this one. I put online order receipt for Little Caesars, $5.56.
Okay.
For an order of crazy bread.
Yeah.
I was told order loaded into Pizza Portal at 6:36.
40 minutes later.
40 minutes.
Yep.
For a single order.
Well, yeah, but you also had the opportunity to do a hot and ready and walk out within like 3 minutes.
No, this Little Caesars, because I went and picked up the Fiesta Burrito because I put the order in at the same time, and then normally the 10 to 15 minute drive and picking up the order at Fiesta Burrito, I can walk next door. Order would be ready. I walk in there. Their cabinets are bare. They have nothing in any of the warmers. There are people just standing around, and I'm like, what the hell did I just walk into?
Wow.
I'm in my head. I was like, you know what? I'm like, how do I cancel an online order? Because I bet you anything, I could probably drive to the next closest Little Caesars. And pick up a crazy bread there in the same amount of time. But yeah, no, 40 minutes for a single order.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, long story short, they came over, we had a barbecue. It was wonderful. I was running around the entire time because they were hungry children, and I want to feed hungry children. So I'm like, scrambling to get the food ready in time because the grocery store took 20 minutes longer than I thought it would. But we had a good time, and then they left, and then we collapsed. Mm-hmm. Because, as I said, I understand, I get it. You do this every goddamn day. But I don't have kids, Andy.
Yep, welcome. Yeah, we had, Isaac got up 7:45. We had breakfast. Swimming was at 10:45. And then after that, we came home, and then we had book club, and I made a snickerdoodle cheesecake. We'll see how that tastes. It's currently in the refrigerator. And then book club, and now I'm here.
Yeah. Why do we do this to ourselves?
What do you mean?
That we have this scheduled for 10 o'clock at night on Saturdays.
Do you have a better time?
Nope, I do not.
But anyway, I need you to pick either red or blue because I had just finished eating some blazing buffalo and ranch Doritos.
And your mouth is on fire.
A little bit, yes.
And you need to choose between two drinks.
Yes.
Do you have a glass nearby, Andy?
No, I don't. Why?
I pick purple.
No.
Yes.
No.
Do you want to drink?
I'm not opening both of these up. I barely got a hold of one of these things.
All right. Let's go with red.
Red. All right. I don't even know what this is.
I still think the purple would be fantastic. Thoroughly amusing.
Mountain Dew Star Spangled Splash with a blast of red berry flavor. Red berry flavor, is that strawberry?
There's a lot of red berries.
There's a lot of red berries out there.
Oh, I tried to give the 7-year-old raspberries because she loves raspberries. And I have black raspberries. And so hey, Dawn, I heard you like raspberries. Here you go. And she's like, no, I only like red ones. I'm like, but these are just as good.
We have to buy purple grapes, not green grapes.
Well, but purple grapes and green grapes have a distinct flavor.
Yep.
These taste like raspberries.
Yep.
Raspberries taste like raspberries.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberry. Yeah, it definitely has a berry flavor to it. But what berry?
All of them.
All the berry. Well, I'm thinking...
all the berries.
If I remember correctly, blue has something to do with a flavor combo. But I'm not going to worry about that until next week.
I still think you should mix them.
If I knew I could get my hands on the blue one, I would do it. But I don't know if I could get my hands on the blue one, and I don't want to drink flat Mountain Dew next week.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of next week, I will be in Michigan.
Welcome.
So you don't need to worry about drinking flat Mountain Dew next week. There won't be a next week.
Because you'll be in Michigan. You will be closer to me than you normally are.
I mean, not by much.
Well, okay, now the question becomes, are we going to do this by...
direct line?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Direct line or travel?
Travel, way closer. Way closer. 2 hours, 2.5 hours closer. But direct line, direct line I'll be closer. I'm looking at it on the map. The circle that surrounds you would pass through Ann Arbor before it passes through Madison.
Yeah, Ann Arbor is only 100.
If I were in Milwaukee,
yes,
it would be about the same distance to you.
Nope, 100 miles. I know that stretch very well.
From Kalamazoo to Ann Arbor?
Yes.
Yep. But Kalamazoo to Milwaukee probably isn't much more than that.
Kalamazoo is halfway between Chicago and Detroit.
Yes. Well, ish. I think it's actually technically closer to Chicago.
All I know is there's one of the parks on the bike path. There's a sign under I-94 that says midway between Detroit and Chicago.
That's adorable. Excuse me, I'm going to go draw a circle on a map.
The question is, where is technically the center of Detroit? And where is the center of Chicago? I've always wondered this about, like, when I look at, those maps that say distances, and I'm just like...
From where?
Yeah, I'm like, Detroit is quite big. Like, are you talking out by the airport Detroit? Which is not technically actually Detroit. Like,
sorry, I got distracted by the Ingress map because it's updated. And so now it's got the new building on there, so now I can plan some more stops because the new building opened. Wait, so I might need to go submit some new stops.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway, zooming out. Kalamazoo is right there. Google roads, thank you. And draw shapes. Just turn off all the portals. I do not need to see those right now. Okay. Keys, good. Where's my draw tools? Drawn items. There's my draw tools. Okay. From Kalamazoo, I'm clicking basically in the middle of the little dot. Okay, it's click and drag. Clicking.
Okay, the sign says 144 miles.
Okay, so you get to from the middle of Kalamazoo to the middle of Ann Arbor, which is to say the little dots on Google Maps, is 150 kilometers. You are past Michigan City, but not to Gary at that point. So Ann Arbor is closer than Chicago. Just barely. Then you hit Chicago, and you get all of downtown Chicago in the same circle that touches Livonia.
All right, I'm on the sign, and I'm very curious where 143 miles gets me.
And, you hit Milwaukee before you hit Detroit from Kalamazoo.
Where? All right, so the sign says 143 miles, and as the crow flies, I've gone from the sign to literally Campus Martin Park, which is basically like the heart of downtown Detroit, and that's only 129 miles. From the sign to the Renaissance Center, that's only 130. Where? This has got to be drive time then, right?
Halfway between?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, I'm sending you a picture of a bunch of concentric circles. Because I find it hilarious. Madison is actually much further out. You hit Indianapolis before you hit Madison in just raw distance from Kalamazoo. You hit Madison just before you hit Cleveland or Columbus. So here, take that screenshot. There we go. Copy to clipboard, send to Andy. This is what we're doing with our time.
Yes.
This is what we do. There you go.
If you're ever wondering
first circle is Grand Rapids, then Ann Arbor, then Chicago,
then Milwaukee,
then Detroit.
Oh, then Detroit
/ Milwaukee. Detroit and Milwaukee are basically the same.
Huh.
Then Indianapolis, then Madison.
Let me tell you, though, trying to drive from Kalamazoo to Indianapolis, not fun. Because if you look, Indianapolis, there's no major highway that goes straight up.
Yeah.
So you're stuck doing 55 from South Bend all the way down to Indianapolis on
31? I mean, alternatively, just go over to Fort Wayne.
And then take 69 down?
Yeah, if you just drive east to get onto 69 and take 69 the whole way, you got to come back a little bit. You're increasing your distance by, about that much. About the distance that you would have to drive east.
Well, let's see what Google Maps
69
says.
Is going to be way faster than 31.
Oh, it says Kalamazoo to Indianapolis, the center, I guess, according to Google Maps. 3 hours and 39 minutes to take 69. 3 hours, 33 minutes to take 31.
Yeah, but think about which one's going to have more stops.
Yep.
31, you're going to be on surface road. There's going to be stoplights.
There's going to be farming implements.
Yep.
As there was last time.
Yep. So I think 69 is going to be the easier trip.
Yeah. Plus, once I hit the highways in Michigan,
yep,
I'm scot-free.
Traverse is closer to you than Madison.
Yeah. No, Traverse City was actually surprisingly close.
Come on.
No, Traverse City was...
Although it's really funny to me that Detroit is closer to you than Lake City. I guess that makes sense. That means Milwaukee is closer to you than Lake City is. And now that I have all these circles, it looks like I'm looking at the fallout range of various nuclear explosions.
Yeah, just
centered around Kalamazoo, apparently.
Instead of Palisades.
Yep.
That was always the which science teacher was I talking to in high school? They were talking about, like, Celine during the Cold War. Everybody just assumed that if the bombs dropped, they would drop one on Detroit.
Yeah.
And Celine would just be basically toast, just being so close to Dearborn. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not, but...
hang on. Nuke map. There it is.
Nuke map?
Nuke map.
Hey,
Select
look at that.
Preset. Where is Dearborn, Michigan? Go. All right, what bomb am I dropping on Dearborn?
Something that the Soviets had.
I mean, the Soviets had a lot, Andy.
I know the Soviets had a lot.
How about the Soviet missiles from the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Okay, that would be a good Cold War.
Okay. Selena's fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last pressure equation for 20 psi failed to give a result for the given yield and height settings.
So Dearborn would be fine. I'm trying to think. Would Willow Run still be? Was Willow Run still like active during the Cold War or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oof. So if you did it now, it's calculating the estimated fatalities. If you dropped it today, you're looking at almost 300,000 people dead and 1 million people injured.
Yeah. No, that would. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as Celine, like, it depends on the wind, but the fallout would probably head east.
Yeah, because the wind blows west to east.
Now, yeah, if they decided to target like Willow Run, yeah, we're probably dead.
Yeah.
Let's see. Willow Run, Michigan. That's not Willow Run. Where the hell did you drop? That's Minnesota. Okay, should I just do Ypsilanti? There we go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Run. Celine is in the light blast damage radius for Willow Run. Ypsilanti is in the moderate blast damage radius, like the entirety of Ypsilanti. Dropped it on Willow Run Airport. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yep. Ypsi is gone. Ann Arbor is pretty well screwed. Everything east of U of M is in the thermal radiation radius of 3rd degree burns, and the rest of the city is in the light blast damage radius.
I didn't know this map existed. This is quite interesting. I'm going to put this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this
on the
topic
topic
great.
list.
Now, that is with an R-12 SS-4 Soviet missile. If we dropped instead the Tsar bomb,
oh geez,
on Willow Run Airport, all of Detroit and basically out to Jackson. 3rd degree burns, basically out to Jackson. Also a lot of Canada. 3rd degree burns as far south as Toledo. Ann Arbor would be considered in the moderate blast damage radius, which means residential buildings collapse, injuries are universal, fatalities are widespread. The chances of fire starting in commercial and residential are high. Buildings are so damaged they're at high risk of spreading fire. That is at the 50 megaton Tsar bomb, which is what they tested. The theoretical Tsar bomb was 100 megatons, which the blast radius would hit Flint.
Oh boy. Oh, those crazy Ruskies.
The fireball would almost envelop Ypsi. It would envelop all of Belleville. That's a big bomb. Oh, and that's for an air burst. If it were a surface burst, holy shit. That's also not good. That is potentially less good. The radiation radius is smaller than the fireball radius, so yay? If you're close enough to get a high dose of radiation, you're close enough to be in the fireball.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's not great. Also, the fallout extends through Ontario and Quebec. Yeah, it's bad. So what do you want to talk about today, Andy?
Well, let's take a look at the list. Well, surprisingly, we can still have an update on Starliner because it is still not back yet.
Is it still attached to the ISS?
Yes.
Why is it still attached? Shouldn't it be home by now?
Yeah. They launched June 5th. They docked at the station the next day, and then NASA originally planned for Starliner to be docked at the space station for at least 8 days, right? So that would put us 13th.
Not here.
Yeah. But now the test flight is now likely to last at least a month and a half and perhaps longer as engineers at Boeing wrestle with helium leaks and thruster glitches.
Sorry, it's just like, hey, we're going to scrub the launch. Why? The computer decided not to do it. Okay. A couple days later, hey, we're going to scrub the launch. Why? Well, we found a helium leak.
No. It was a helium leak first, and then it was the launch got scrubbed due to the computers on the base station, I think, right?
I don't know. But my point is that,
yes. And this was
issues, and they scrubbed because of the helium issues, and then they said, it's fine. And then they launched, and shocker, there are helium issues.
And this was, after they had to disassemble the Starliner in order to remove all of the flammable tape inside.
Yeah.
Was it like a mile length of flammable tape?
That's ridiculous.
The manager of NASA's Commercial Crew Program said Friday he wanted to clear up the misunderstandings that led to headlines claiming the Starliner spacecraft was stuck or stranded at the space station. I wanted to make it very clear that Butch and Suni are not stranded in space. Our plan is to continue to return them on Starliner and return them at home at the right time. We have a little bit more work to do to get there for the final return, but they're safe on the space station. Really, you end your sentence with, they're safe where they are at. They're not stranded, but they're safe on the space station.
They're fine. They're fine. Guys, it's no big deal. They're fine.
It's pretty painful to read the things that are out there. We've gotten a really good test flight that's been accomplished so far, and it's being viewed rather negatively. Well...
Yeah, no shit. You idiots. Also, I heard, I don't know if this is a topic, that SpaceX got the contract to deorbit the ISS.
I heard that. I did not put it on.
Yeah.
Well, NASA probably, after, having part of the space station hit, was it a house down in Florida, I think?
It makes sense that it would be. Like, of all the states for a piece of the space station to hit, Florida.
And I think the family is, suing NASA... debris. Yeah. ISS debris, Florida. Florida family files claim with NASA after ISS space junk crashes into their house.
Yeah.
That gets published, and then mere couple days later, NASA gives SpaceX contract to deorbit ISS.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of surprised the amount of things that have, successfully gone through reentry burns, Starship included. But the amount of, I think it was was it one or two? I think it was two of the Dragon capsule, trunk sections that are supposed to just be, disconnected, and they're supposed to, burn up in reentry.
Yeah.
I think two of them actually survived and made landfall. I think that was it. What was it? No, not that. What is that section of the capsule called?
It's not the fairing.
No. NASA has confirmed that pieces of debris found throughout the mountains of North Carolina are the remains of SpaceX Crew Dragon hardware that re-entered the atmosphere in May 2024. Oh, the SpaceX Crew 7 mission's trunk or service module. So the trunk, as SpaceX calls it, is the unpressurized section at the tail end of the Dragon that has able to carry cargo or small satellites and provides power to the spacecraft. And somehow that is supposed to burn up in reentry and instead landed in North Carolina. So things are actually falling from the sky.
Yeah.
A lot more than they're supposed to be.
Which is to say, at all.
Yeah. So the Starliner staying up on the ISS until engineers on the ground here can take an identical thruster on the ground and test fire it at a NASA facility in New Mexico. The test will simulate the exact sequence of firing Starliner's thrusters performed as it approached the space station, and the firing sequence engineers expect when Starliner undocks and returns to Earth. The test will take a couple of weeks, then engineers will inspect the thruster, and they'll make sure that the thruster will actually perform like it's supposed to.
And then they get to come home?
Yes.
Like a month later?
Yep.
Sorry, babe. I know that I said I'd only go up for a couple days, but like, space.
I know that travel websites have like those little like anti-Boeing search parameters now.
Yeah.
I'm just like picturing like Expedia for astronauts. Be like, these are the flights going up into space. Which flight?
These are the ones that are run by Boeing.
Oh.
I'm reminded of Mrs. Grace L. Ferguson's airline and storm door company.
Oh.
Yeah. That's so bad, Andy. That's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about Toys R Us.
Yes, Toys R Us,
doesn't exist?
No,
they went bankrupt.
Yeah, but there's still a company.
Okay.
But who owns them right now? Let's see. Toys R Us is owned by WHP Global. Right, so it's just a brand right now. Right. And they decided to create an ad using Sora.
I mean, that's not great, but also, like, it's not really Toys R Us because they don't really exist anymore. Like, someone else has the name.
Toys R Us Studios, the entertainment production arm of the global toy brand, partnered with Emmy-nominated creative agency Native Foreign, whose chief creative, has alpha access to Sora. Together, they premiered this brand film during the 2024 Cannes Lion Festival, showcasing it to an audience of brand and advertising industry leaders at an exclusive event in France. So they
is there a video of their ad?
Yes, it should be in the article. It's a minute-long video,
and it's AI generated.
Yep.
Damn, AI is doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I watched it and I'm like, this is definitely, you could tell it just feels AI generated, but still.
There's some weird, like, incongruencies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the quality of the quote-unquote CGI, given that it's all CGI, is, like, not consistent. Where, like, some scenes it looks like the kid is in there, and other scenes it looks like it's a blue screen. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. The people said, though, that it still required a bit of human post-production work to put it together. So Sora eliminated the need for actors and cameras, but still needed a lot of post-production and VFX artists to actually make it usable.
So I wonder what the raw footage Sora generated looked like.
I'm very curious about that. Or how many times did they have to change their prompt in order to get this to work?
Well, especially because it sounds like they did some post editing.
Mm-hmm.
So even with what they got, it wasn't what they wanted. They probably needed just some like visual touch-ups here and there and change the lighting here and there, and maybe they added certain things.
But this is only the beginning, unfortunately. Well, especially the next article on the list here is the fact that NBC is going to be using AI-generated Al Michaels to provide recaps to everybody during the Summer Olympics.
I don't appreciate that.
Yep, using AI-generated clone of Al Michaels' voice to narrate daily streaming video recaps of the Summer Olympics in Paris.
When do those start?
The Olympics?
Yeah. The Summer Olympics in Paris.
Yes.
That should be real soon.
Yes.
It is summer.
July 26th.
Okay. So a month.
Yes. Tour de France started today, though.
Meh.
All right.
That was always your thing, Andy.
I know.
It was always your thing. I learned a lot about it from being here on the show, but that was always your thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was the first stage was today. So
cool.
The surprising thing, though, is this year the race will not finish in Paris.
Breaking tradition.
I know.
How did they convince people to do that?
Well, the Tour de France started today and takes, all the way till July 21st.
And the Olympics will be running.
The Olympics will basically be running on, what did I say, the 26th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's not overlap these two things.
Yep. So yeah, they started in Italy. They're basically biking their way to France, and they're going to do a loop around France and end in Nice, I do believe.
Cool. Good for them.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a weird one. It's one of those things where it's like Tour de France not ending in Paris. That is literally the first time in 111 years.
Oh, is this the 111th Tour de France?
Yep.
Then yes.
Yes.
Well, 110 years.
Yeah. So NBC is going to have an AI-generated voice of Al Michaels give you a personalized recap on the Peacock app, which it uses an LLM to analyze subtitles and metadata from NBC's Olympic video coverage, summarizing events and writing an output in Michaels' style. And then that's fed into an AI voice model trained on all of Michael's previous NBC appearances. NBC estimates that the system could generate nearly 7 million personalized variants of the recaps. Each Peacock user will receive about 10 minutes of personalized highlights.
Are you a Peacock user, Andy?
Let me check.
And or will you be for the Olympics?
I think we have Peacock. Why did we pick up Peacock? Hold on, let me log in. Oh, Resident Alien. Resident Alien was Sci-Fi, which is part of the NBC universe. And so that's why we have Peacock. But yeah, no, all that fight with, SAG, AFTRA, and everything saying, you need to stand up right now to AI, and then NBC
Otherwise it's going to take all your jobs.
And NBC turns around and for the Olympics says, oh yeah, we're already doing it. Great. Just great. Well, other AI news.
No.
Yes.
Just that there is other AI news.
There's always other AI news, unfortunately.
Yep.
The University of Reading at the School of Psychology and Clinical Language Sciences saw that there was a lot of articles and reports about students submitting AI-generated work as their exam assignments and getting good grades. So they decided to basically stress test their own department and see what would happen. So they created over 30 fake psychology student accounts and used them to submit ChatGPT-4 produced answers to questions and didn't tell the teachers and professors that they were doing this. And 94% of the AI-generated submissions went undetected.
Oh, no.
84% got better grades than a randomly selected group of students who took the same exam.
No.
Props for this guy for going, okay, well, let's see. We hear the stories. Let's actually see. Let's take our own department and put them to the test and see if this is true. And it turns out it was.
It is indeed true.
We did a series of debriefing meetings with the people marking those exams, and they were quite surprised.
Well, so here's the other question. Was it grad students who were doing the exam marking? Or was it like full professors?
I'm not sure. They don't say.
Right. But that some of the exams, especially in intro courses, are not graded by the professors.
No, it's all about the TAs.
Right.
Part of the reason that they were surprised was that most of these AI submissions that were detected did not end up flagged because they were too repetitive or robotic. They got flagged because they were too good.
Well, there's no way an undergrad wrote this.
Yeah.
That's just fucking hilarious. God damn it.
Yep. But they said that it was the intro courses where they got better. Towards the end, they said the final module taken by students before they left the university, the AI did not do good at all.
Well, there's probably less material. Have you heard about what is it called? It's like source poison. It's not source poison. It's some form of poisoning. Model poisoning? I think it's model poisoning, which is the No, okay, so there's two. There's model poisoning and there was model collapse. Model poisoning is when you, as a creator, specifically put out bad stuff for AI models to take it. So this is like an artist making sure that their watermark is on literally all of their things so that when an AI generates it in the style of that person, it includes the watermark. Mm-hmm. Model collapse is when, because more and more of the content that's out there is AI generated, AIs are going to start basing their models off of AI generated content.
Oh boy.
Which means that those models now are based off of AI generated models, which are going to produce more content, which means that the next models that get trained are going to be trained on that data, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, until AI all the way down, and it doesn't make sense anymore because it's not based on stuff that actual human beings are writing.
No, I could see that. I'm trying to read. I've pulled up the actual journal article, and I'm trying to read who was doing the actual grading. How were exams graded? Okay. Oh, there were independent people brought in for these, so it doesn't look like it was just the TAs, and there was actually two of them, it looks like. But anyway, so yeah, that's a thing. Lovely. Where is my? There it is. Okay. Anyway, all right. What else on here do you?
What's going on with Redbox?
Well, they're not paying their employees.
Oops. There was a notice on the Redbox at the place nearby that said, like, this is closed.
Yeah, employees have been waiting for paychecks since the 21st. The company also promises to reinstate health insurance for their employees, which has lapsed in May.
Redbox seems to be in trouble.
Yep. The company owes money to a number of retailers as well as Hollywood studios. Oh, boy, so you owe Walmart money, and you own Universal Studios money, and Sony money, and Lionsgate,
You're in a
Warner
bad
Brothers.
spot. Holy crap. And you owe your employees money.
Yes.
And you owe your employees health coverage.
What was this company? Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment? That's who owns Redbox? The people who do the Chicken Soup for the Soul books are the people Redbox. Who own Redbox. Huh.
I love the idea of Redbox. It just isn't worth it. It's not worth it. Andy, it's not worth it.
No.
It's like, so there's a new game store that opened out here. It is a used game store that sells physical games. So like NES games, Super Nintendo, Sega, like they sell used games all the way up to PS5 and Xbox One. And I'm looking at this going like, guys, why? Why would you why would you invest in this? Why would you risk? This is not going to be successful.
Hey, I within the last couple of months had gone to some of those used game stores to pick up games for the Wii.
Yep.
So, there's a small market for it.
Yep, but enough to support a store?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yep. Redbox is doing the same thing. Like renting DVDs, you can't pay for it.
Didn't Microsoft say there was going to be like a disc free version of the Xbox X, I think?
I think so. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago?
Something like that. Let's see. Yep. Microsoft announces a discless Xbox Series X console in white. So they had the S. The S was already out there.
Right.
But now this is like the X series is the big, that's the big one without a disk drive.
All right. So that's Redbox. What's going? Oh, this. Just looking at the title, this looks like an FCC violation.
Oh,
Tell
Verizon?
me about Verizon.
Yes. So Verizon screwed up twice, and because they screwed up twice is why the FCC went after them.
Yeah.
So back in October of 2022, there was an update that had a flawed security policy update file, which caused an hour and 44 minutes of failed 911 calls in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee.
So the entire southeastern U.S.
Yes. So that was back in October.
Was without 911 on Verizon.
Yes.
For almost 2 hours.
Yes. So there was a prior outage, and Verizon said that they had implemented a wide range of audits and technical system updates designed to protect against future recurrences of configuration and one-way audio issues. Fast forward to December of that year, and due to insufficient naming convention protocols and a failure to follow the then current implementation protocols that they just started up in October, the flawed security policy update file was reintroduced into the Verizon wireless network and caused another outage in December of that year.
Oops. Okay. So
they did not remove the policy update from the
someone had a really bad day.
Yes. They did not remove the flawed security policy update from the inventory of available security policies, which enabled personnel to select and reapply the flawed security policy update file to the network. So it happened a second time, and after that, FCC came in and said, guys, no bueno.
No.
And they fined them $1,050,000.
See, if I screw up at work, like, doctors can't find videos to teach them how to use the system.
Yep.
But it's not like doctors can't use the system. If someone at Verizon screws up, literally they cut out their 911 system.
And of course,
there's a big difference here.
Yeah. And it turns out AT&T Wireless had a botched networks update, which caused other 911 issues and FirstNet issues back in February, which, FirstNet is what most of our modems for the police cars were using.
Mm-hmm.
It was really funny was the fact that one of the other techs has a FirstNet phone, and so people were trying to call him to come and fix the problem, but his phone was
offline.
His phone was offline as well.
Never put your tech on the same technology as the thing that they're supporting. Facebook learned that.
Well,
Remember when Facebook's techs were locked out of the server room?
Yes.
Because the security for the server room ran off the servers?
I told you about the pager system on one of the old radio stations, right? Or no?
Probably.
Okay. Pager company comes in. This is back in the 80s and 90s. So pagers are still, big.
Yeah.
Pager comes in and says, hey, you got a massive signal on this FM station. We want to put our paging system on a subcarrier.
Okay.
That's not surprising. The subcarriers are used for lots of things like elevator music and that sort of stuff. So they put the pagers on the subcarrier. The owner of the station at the time was a bit of a tightwad. And he said, well, I'll let you do it as long as you give us free use of your pager system.
Yeah.
So they put the engineer's pager, they moved it off of the regular phone system onto this free pager system that's running off of the transmitter.
Right.
And then they put the alarm system on that transmitter to call the engineer if there's a problem.
That's not going to happen.
Which worked until the very first time that transmitter went down and tried to
work. Let's be clear.
Yes, it did not work. Because
if it worked until the first time it was needed, it did not work.
No, it didn't work because the first time that transmitter went down, it tried to call the engineer on his pager, but the transmitter was down, so it was not able to actually broadcast it.
Right.
Yeah. So, no, I heard that story the first time, and like halfway through I'm going like, oh, no, they didn't. Oh, no, they did.
They did. Don't skimp on paying for tech support and security.
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing about like, everything's working. What do we even pay you guys for? That's why you pay them.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's broken. What do we even pay you for? To fix it.
Yep. Well, so next topic here that I want to talk about is another phone topic.
Okay.
Because I'm still waiting to get my anniversary watch, and I was thinking I was going to have to wait until October because I was going to wait until the new Pixel watch gets announced. But invites were sent out earlier this week, and the Google Pixel 9 launch event is actually going to be in August.
That's a little early.
Yes. Last year, the event was held October 4th. This year, it's going to be happening August 13th, which, is kind of, everybody's expecting it's going to be the new Pixel 9 announcement because the invites had Roman numerals with, the number
IX.
Yeah. Yes, you're invited to an in-person Made by Google event where we'll showcase the best of Google AI, Android software, and the Pixel portfolio of devices.
Yeah.
Which means
Pixel 9.
Pixel
and
9.
And the Pixel tablet.
And probably the Pixel Watch 3.
Maybe.
Which means I might get my hands on a Pixel Watch 3 or a Pixel Watch 2 a little bit sooner than expected, which is good because my band broke on my Fitbit watch here.
Oh, no.
And the cheapest replacement that was easily available was this steel magnet one at Walmart. I'm not sure I like this whole magnet thing.
I used to have a magnet clasp on my Fitbit.
Well, this is fine until, I work around a lot of metal items.
And it just sticks to them?
Yes, it does. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there and all of a sudden I just hear plink. I'm like, what? And I look down like my watch band has now attached itself to the trunk of this car. Great.
So I will say I really liked actually having the magnetic band because it gave me something to fidget with.
Ah.
So that was very nice. And it was also fun to intentionally click it onto magnetic things. But yes, it did get annoying when I'd sit down at a table and the table would have a metal top and it would just dunk. I'm like, great, my watch is now attached to the table. Fantastic.
So everybody thinks that they moved it up from October to August because Apple always announces the new iPhones in September.
They want to get ahead of the iPhone?
They want to get ahead of the iPhone rather than after the iPhone, which makes me really hope that they've got all their ducks in a row. Because I know 2 months of R&D could probably do a lot. So yes, August 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific will be the new...
2 months of R&D is huge.
Yeah, so I really hope...
just how many hours that is.
Yeah, I just really hope that they're not trying to push out an unfinished product 2 months early just because they want to get ahead of the iPhone. But we'll see. But no, I'm thinking, heck, if the Pixel 3 watch is launched... they'll probably drop the price on the 2. Heck, they could probably even drop the price on the original one, even if they have the original one. But we shall see. Yes, no, I want to get rid of... My Fitbit watch has burn-in on the screen.
You have perhaps had it too long.
It has... I can see exactly where... because they have the always-on watch face, but I normally keep it on. And yeah, those numbers have been burned into the screen. I didn't notice it until I turned... there's a flashlight mode on here, which just turns the screen all white. And I can see exactly where the numbers and the dates are supposed to be.
Oops.
Yep.
Oops. Time for a new watch, Andy.
Yep. Well, anything else on here that you want to talk about? The fact that Apple might be fined $1 billion from the European Union?
$1 billion?
Yes.
Now we're talking about some money, sort of. What did they do?
The preliminary findings was that Apple was failing to abide by the Digital Markets Act.
Okay. This has to do with the App Store?
Yes. Our preliminary position is that Apple does not fully allow steering. Steering is key to ensure that app developers are less dependent on gatekeepers' app stores and for consumers to be aware of better offers. So this was steering customers to offers outside the app stores free of charge, which Apple did not do. Apple was going to charge them, I think, equivalent of 50 cents. I don't know what's half a euro per install or something like that.
And so that comes out to $1 billion.
Well, because the way the European is set up for fines, it is a percentage of 10% of its annual global revenue for infringement.
Nice. Of course, Apple is going to fight this tooth and nail because it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper to fight it than to pay $1 billion.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
wow.
EU opened several investigations in March, and those are finally coming to fruition. And Apple's fruition, and Apple is up there because they did not play nice.
This is the find out portion.
Mm-hmm. This is the find out portion. So we'll see.
I'm glad. We need significantly more find out portions.
Yes.
We have way too many people doing the first part.
Mm-hmm. Meta and Google are also currently under investigation for non-compliance as well. But Apple was the first one to be charged. So we'll see how we'll see how this comes out. But yeah, $1 billion fine.
Did you see Facebook is threatening to remove news in Australia again?
Again?
Yep.
I know we didn't talk about this on the last podcast we recorded, but I remember I posted something about TikTok. The Pew Research says a growing number of Americans are saying that their news source is TikTok.
I don't like that.
Yep. Survey said that, according to the survey, TikTok is the second most popular source of news after X. Though most TikTok users don't primarily think of the short-form video app as a news source. Well, no, duh.
Yeah, no shit. Like, that's not where you go for news.
No. But no, they're in Australia again, really. All right, well, should we hit the randoms? Unless there's something else. Final call, last call.
Nah, go for it.
All right. I am... one of the previous number games that I reviewed on this podcast was created by a company called Easy Brain. What was that game exactly called again? Number Match. So, keeping tabs on the company, because Number Match was fun, and they came out with another game called Number Sums.
Number Sums.
Yes, Number Sums. So, Number Sums, you're given a grid of numbers, and on the outside are your clues.
Uh-huh. Oh, and this is a fill-in-the-blank puzzle.
I guess.
Okay.
No, the grid is completely full of numbers. You have, like, each row and column has to add up to a specific amount.
Okay.
And there are more numbers in the grid than actually available.
Okay.
Like, for example, and in the example they give here on their website, there is a row that has 5 numbers in it. 3, 5, 9, 6, and 7.
Right.
And the clue is 12. So you have to find what numbers in that row add up to 12.
So either 5 or 7 or 3 and 9.
Yep. So it's not 6. So you can actually erase the 6 from that row, and it also erases it from that column, because that's in the same column as a 9, a 4, an 8, and an 8. And it has to add up to 16.
8 and 8.
Yep. So then you can erase the 9 and the 4. And
so it's like a reverse Sudoku.
Yeah, it's sort of like a reverse Sudoku. That would be a good example for it.
What's the goal? To identify only the numbers that are needed to do the math?
Yep.
And have everything else erased?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, and you get 3 lives.
So it's almost Picross.
What's Picross?
Or Picross? Is that how you pronounce it? Have you not played this before?
Hold on, let me look.
It's a very similar concept, but instead of adding numbers, it's putting dots on a field.
Yeah, it's called nonogram, I think. Notograms, I think, is what it's called. Nonograms.
I've always known it as Picross, Picross.
I've always known it as nonograms. I'm not sure what's first, but yes, no, that's the same thing. Trying to see if there's anything on this list here that would be considering the number sums game, but I don't see it. Anyway, so it's the same guys who did our other number match games, but it's number sums, and they have, the daily ones and they have just background level ones to play. But it really helps with my mental math with addition and basically, addition and subtraction, trying to do it in my head because I only get 3 chances. Otherwise, I have to start the level over.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's, I'm thinking, I don't need this one. And then I go to erase it, and then it gives me a nope, that's wrong answer. And I'm like, what? But, and then I look over, I'm like, oh yeah, 7 plus 3 is 10. So is 6 and 4. Oh shit. Because it can do more than just 2 numbers. It could be 3 numbers or 4 numbers.
Right. Or could it be all 5?
I have not come to one that's all 5 yet. And the grids change in size as well. So some of the grids are bigger. Like, let me look at the daily one for today, because I haven't actually looked at that one yet. All right, daily one for today is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 6x6. And the sums go from 2, which that's an easy one, because there's only a 2 in that column, all the way up to 33.
Which there's probably a number of ways to calculate that.
Yep.
Based on what's in there.
There is a row that is supposed to add up to 20, and it's 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 6, 2.
But you know that there's at least one 4 in there.
Yes.
You don't know which one.
Nope. Yeah, there's a 7, and it's a 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, and 8. Well, I know it's not the 8, but yeah, trying to figure out which 3, 2, and 1 add up to 7, you know. It's interesting, and it's part math, part logic puzzle. So yeah. I enjoy it. I did pay for getting rid of the ads.
Makes sense.
I forgot exactly how much that was, but it was definitely worth it, because the ads, when they break out in the middle of a game,
kind of suck.
Yeah, I'm like sitting there going, what was I trying to add in my head? I don't remember, because there's an ad there now, but I paid, I think it was like $5 for the ad-free version.
Yeah, that really sucks.
I enjoy it. Kate enjoys it. So, number sums. That is my review. Any questions, Dave?
You said the daily one had a 31? It was a 6x6? I'm looking at the June 29th daily. Oh, you're on the June 30th daily.
I'm on the June 30th daily.
That's okay.
Hold on, let me go back to the 29th daily.
I'm doing yesterday's daily then.
Yep, there's a 32, a 16, an 8, 2 13s, a 5, and a 1.
Nope.
No?
Nope. For June 29th?
Yeah.
I think these might be randomized.
Ooh. 14, 11, 19, 5, 14, 15, 10?
Nope.
Oh. Well,
reading across the top is 1, 14, 15, 27, 14, 20. And then reading top to bottom is 15, 23, 12, 9, 15, 17.
Yeah, no, that is not my daily challenge. Wow, okay. Well, then I don't know what to tell you on that. But it's fun just to, keep your mental math up to snuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Number sums. All right, time for the random topic. Rolled ahead of time, the best Wisconsin celeb. I think this was submitted after we had done the best Michigan celeb, and somebody's like, wait a second, Dave's in Wisconsin.
Sure.
Best Wisconsin celeb.
Gene Wilder.
I was going to go with Oprah, but Gene is second in my book.
Yeah, Gene Wilder or, what's his name?
Chris Farley?
Escape artist. No.
Oh, Houdini? Houdini's Wisconsin?
Yeah.
There's no what, Harry? Houdini.
Where do you think he's from?
I thought he was Hungarian.
He might be Hungarian, but...
Born in Budapest, Hungary.
Oh, but lived in... Eric Weiss
was born in Budapest, one of 7 children, alive, moved to Appleton. Oh, okay.
And grew up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, no, moved to Milwaukee. There's just 2 things I remember. He's from Budapest, and then he died on Halloween in Detroit. Because somebody wanted to test his strength.
Oh, yeah, someone punched him in the stomach.
Yep. Before he was fully flexed.
Yeah, but yeah, grew up in Appleton, Wisconsin.
No, I always go with Oprah because she was born and raised in Wisconsin.
In Milwaukee, she went to Nicolet High School.
Yep,
it's the same high school my parents went to.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, that was an easy one. I'm trying to think of anybody else from. I know Wilder, Oprah, and I think Chris Farley
is he also Canadian.
I thought he was Wisconsin.
Maybe. I thought he was Canadian.
Well, yeah, because most of the... Let's see, Chris Farley, born in Madison, Wisconsin.
All right, there you go. Gene Wilder, I think, is probably pretty good. All right, Andy, I think that's everything.
Yep, that's everything. That is a wrap. This has been another episode of the Random Access Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, corrections, suggestions, remarks, reviews, rebukes, retorts, or just rants, feel free to contact us. You can find us on Twitter at RAPodcast or send us an email at mail@rapodcast.net. Thank you for listening.